Welcome to the Tonya Hoffman's Fabulous TV Show. I am Tonya Hoffman, and of course, this is my fabulous TV show. And as always, I always have an incredibly fabulous guest. And oh my gosh, y'all are going to be so excited because today's incredible guest is Paul Finck. Hey, Paul.
Hey, how you doing? Pleasure to be here, Tonya. It is absolutely, I am so excited to talk to you, talk to everybody here. This is such a pleasure, and it's just awesome to be with you and to chit chat. We've talked so much offline, and now talking online is just going to be so great.
I know, and y'all are going to be so amazed and tickled that you were here just listening today. And remember that you want to get involved with the Public Speakers Association. So go to Public Speakers with an S Association, all spelled out.com. And that's another place that you can find incredible speakers like Paul and myself if you're looking for a speaker for your next event or radio show or whatever you've got going on in 2017, or if you're listening to this in 2018 or whenever, we're still there. So come and check us out. So Paul, oh my gosh. Okay. So tell us, how fabulous are you? What do you have going on nowadays?
So I've got a ton going on. First of all, my name is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, and it is a mantra that was handed down to me by, I was doing some brainstorming and masterminding, really describing who I was and what I was about. And they're like, you're a maverick. That's what you are. And it really stuck with me. And it's something that as I reflect back over my years of being a part of the community and being a speaker and a trainer and even an entrepreneur for the last 30 years, doing it different, doing things just slightly different than most of the people out there is what I attribute all my success to, and what I now really preach and talk about throughout the world is how can you do it different? How can you create a difference for your life and for others? Doing it different than the average, than the majority of the people out there, which is unfortunately about 90% of the people out there are struggling, are not quite getting it, not quite doing what they want, not reaching their fullest potential, not creating the life of their dreams, not really stepping in and living life to its fullest. And so doing it different and really creating a difference for yourself and others will give you that abundance and give you that greatness in your life and give you the ability to reach your fullest potential. And that's my message throughout the world now, and what I've been living for the last 30 years as an entrepreneur myself.
I know, it's crazy when I talk to people and they want to make a difference in their life and in other people's lives, but they're unwilling to do anything different than what they did yesterday and the month before that and the year before that, right?
You know what they say is insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And so every day I challenge myself, what could I do different today to create a new magnitude of results in my life? What can I do different than I did last year to create a new year for myself? And asking yourself that question, you'll start connecting up with synapses in your head. You'll start shifting things up. And I teach a process of asking effective questions. Most people struggle to get the answers, although they're asking the wrong questions, or at least questions that aren't being effective for them. And so I teach a series of questions on how do you ask the right questions? What are some of the right questions to ask so you can create the right results, the effective results in your life?
Is there one of those questions that really kind of stand out as the pivotal moment that people really have to really grasp? Or is it just, you got to go through all the steps?
Yeah, it depends on where you're at and what your focus is. For instance, one of my favorite that I repeat to myself every single day is what is the highest and best use of my time right now? So when you're sitting back and you're struggling and you're just kind of feeling like, oh, I don't know, just kind of lackadaisical and lethargic, and you say, what could I be doing now that could change my life? What could I be doing now to move my business one step closer to success? What is the highest and best use of my time right now to create the life of my dreams, to move me forward towards my dreams. What I know is you're either moving forward or you're moving backward. You're either moving towards something or you're moving away from something. And usually you're either moving towards your dreams or you're not.
Yeah.
And the not is unacceptable to me. And so what can you do? And so one of the questions again is, what could I be doing today to move towards my dreams? What could I be doing is my highest and best use of right now?
I love that. I've got a little sticky note. Eventually, I'm going to make it into a pretty sign, but it says, wow yourself today.
Yes.
I have to remind myself that, especially once for me, I've challenged myself so much that, I'm like, well, kind of done that. But it's like that mindset that you still got to be in, that you got to go and not wow somebody else, because that's usually a lot easier than to wow yourself, right?
That's key. That's really key. And I like that. It's definitely about not comparing yourself to others or even doing things for others, meaning I show up to achieve because I want to prove something to somebody else, or I want to show them. When you do it for yourself, when you are really focused in on outdoing your own last achievement. I have several kids that are in track, and they talk about running their personal best. It's not about winning the race. It's not about beating their teammates. It's about running faster today than they did yesterday, running and creating that personal best for the day. And that's so powerful in everything that we do. If everyone just did better today compared to what they did yesterday, everyone would be on the right journey, on the right path.
I love that. That was one of the aha moments for me in 2005. And it seems like it was forever ago, but I was such an introvert and I was so stuck in the past, and I get why, everyone listening. Okay. I get why you're stuck in the past. I'm sure, Paul, you get why people are stuck in the past. I had horrible things that had happened. I was robbed and tied up when I was 6 months pregnant. I went through cancer, and those are the good things. So, so I, withdrew, but then I didn't get to experience life, and I didn't get to experience fabulous people like yourself, because I was so stuck there. And you've got to start really pushing yourself. I wrote down everything I was afraid of, and it was a long list. I wish I had kept it, because it was like,
oh my gosh, I teach people to journal, and to journal every day. The magnitude, and there's certain components of it that are really helpful today. Where it becomes even more helpful is down the road, is when you're able to reflect back and really learn to give yourself credit for how far you've come. Most of us, as we go through this journey, we have no clue. We go, all of a sudden it's 5 years hence, and we're saying, oh man, we haven't gotten anywhere. We haven't accomplished anything. Where are we going? However, when you look back and you have accurate records of where you were 5 years ago, you've come a long way, baby, both internally and externally. And most people don't have the ability to track that properly, to really reflect effectively, to say, I have come a long way.
Yeah.
I can pat myself on the back. I can say, yes, there may be more to go. However, you've still come a long way. And it's great to really acknowledge that and understand it.
Yeah, and share with others, as you progress and you get over things, help others, bring people along with you. And I know for me, people have a hard time, and I even had a hard time remembering the way I used to be, right? Because like you were saying, you forget.
We're in our own little bubble. We're absolutely in our own little bubble, and our world shifts from moment to moment. Yeah. And so our only perspective is from the viewpoint of where we are right at that moment, which changes. So a week from now, a month from now, it'll be different again. A month ago, it was very different. And so really understanding that perspective will shift as you shift.
Yeah, it was so funny because I found in a drawer, and I'm so glad I kept it because I was going to throw it away at the time. I had a headshot at a holiday gala, from a chamber in 2005. And I love showing people this picture.
Oh my gosh.
This was me, everybody. Okay, this was a holiday gala. This is the way I dressed for bedazzling holiday gala. So
totally different.
Totally, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I have totally come so far. And you can see how I was still hiding.
You know how far you've come? You dare to show that picture. That's really good.
And we all have our moments. You know, the other day I was, representing a whole skincare line, and they asked me to do video with no makeup on. Can you imagine, ladies? Okay, doing video is one thing. Doing video with no makeup on, oh my gosh. And right. I sat there and laughed at myself for an hour. I was like, get over it. Get over it.
Let me tell you, and one of the things that you mentioned was, our past and where we came from. And I just want to mention, why I'm on this journey. One of the things that happened to me, I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. And so you think, oh, he's got it dialed in. Well, it took me 20 of those 30 to really get it dialed in, to really understand how to apply all the tools and the strategies. I had studied all this stuff way back when. I was a psychology major in college, really understood social psychology and the interdimensions of people and communication. I had studied body language when I was in college and understood that communication style. So I got all this, and then it still took another 20 years before it hit home to create the magnitude I now have. Yeah. One of the catalysts was I figured out what my why was, or at least I had it show up in my life. I've got 6 children, 3 sets of twins.
Wow.
And that really...
How did you do that?
That's a whole nother seminar. Absolutely. So we have 3 sets of twins, and just a phenomenal life. Only now my youngest is 15. So you get an idea of my journey. So 15 years ago, I was like, oh my Lord, I've got to do something different. Because I got to tell you, no matter what you're earning, when you go from a family, we went from a family of 4, we had 2 children, to a family of 8 in 14 months.
Wow.
The 2 sets of twins are about 14 months apart. And so this was a dramatic shift where our lifestyle was going to shift. Everything, we were behind on our credit cards. Like this, economically and financially, you couldn't have even compared anything else to this. This was a dramatic change.
Yeah.
And then time management and just the overwhelm of it and the responsibility of it. I was the only income producer in the household. And so this was major. So now I had to make a difference in my life. I had to shift. I had to create something new. At least that's how I talked to myself. There was no option for me.
Right.
It wasn't about, oh yeah, so we lose our house. So we live off food stamps. That wasn't a part of my world. There was no way that was happening. And so I drove myself to a whole nother stratosphere. Mm-hmm. And over that process, I really started looking at what wealth building strategies were, started looking at what was possible for me to grab hold of and do, started looking at real estate, started looking at more ventures as far as what to do in my business realm, and started looking internally as to what it was going to take, what I had to change. Again, a great question. What do I have to change internally to create a more dramatic external result? And so that question really held with me. And it took me about a 5-year journey to really dial it in, to get what it was all about.
Yes.
Over the last 10 years, I've been able to live a lifestyle that I love, to be able to travel all around the world, to be able to produce abundance so that my children can have what they want and and not to spoil them. And I'm really clear on how to keep my children's feet grounded. Mm-hmm. And I'm still able to offer them up whatever college you want in the world. Grab hold of. We can afford it. We can send you there. whatever experiences, to really create this idea that there's abundance out there and to go grab it and to go find it and to be motivated to move to that. That's what I've been able to deliver to my children.
Yeah.
And that's a message that anyone and everyone can do. Only you've got to step up internally, step up externally, and really get into action mode to create it in your life.
Yeah, because everyone, if you really look at it, you are unique. There is no one else like you, right? Unless you're a twin, then God said, you're too nice not to make you twice. So,
Right.
so you've got to really take that opportunity to say, how can I make a difference? Because that's one of the things that I struggled with is why I'm just little Tonya. How can I change the world? How can I change other people's lives? Right? And I started looking at, oh, look at that. I talked to that person. We talk to somebody every day.
Yep.
And you have an opportunity at that moment, if it's a person in the grocery store or wherever you are, to smile. And that changes somebody's life. It may be as small as making just someone smile back. Right?
Right. Yeah, that power, that reciprocity, smile and the world smiles with you. It's amazing what that can do. And I do some great things. I've created such great abundance. We do like high level masterminds where we help share this abundance, and the mastermind group travels with me. We've done it in Cancun and Puerto Vallarta and Dominican Republic, and I believe this year we're going to go to Italy. We're picking out the places now, and where we hang out in high-end villas and really experience life to its fullest, to experience what it's like to live in just pure abundance, and then get clear with how we can create this in our life every single day through masterminding, through creating great business models, to really dialing in what we want to accomplish, what's our passions, why are we doing this, and getting clear with that. And we do that all around the world. I'll be flying out to Ireland next week, and flying out to Ireland, handling and taking care of a new client out there. We take care of and coach people all around the world. Now I would love to see, all of you take you and sit down and say, here's what we can do. Here's what's possible for you.
Right.
And then
it's
lay
possible.
out a game plan.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you have something you would like to offer our fabulous listeners today?
Absolutely. So there's always a first step. So let's get into the conversation with the first step. I've got a great place for you to go. You want to go to themaverickdifference.com. themaverickdifference.com. Go take a look. It's a great ebook that I put together that talks about how to double your income by working less. How to doubling your income in doing with less time, less effort, and make that happen in the next 12 months. So this will give you the framework to move forward and get that going. We'll be following up with additional components on we're on webinars. We share information every single week with trainings that are all free. And then we also have boot camps all around the country. I would absolutely encourage you all, come hang out, spend a little time, and get clear with how to do this in your life.
Awesome. All right, everyone. So take advantage of that like now.
Right.
Don't wait. I'll get to it. No, do it right now because you're going to forget.
Themaverickdifference.com. Themaverickdifference.com. This is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire.
There you go. All righty, everyone. So jump on that. And again, get involved in some way. Take this opportunity, just like Paul said, to start making a difference in other people's lives. But you've got to change your own first, right? Yeah. So do something this time. This is your moment to make things just explode and do the things that you've always wanted to do. Because you can't. We're not any different than you are, believe me.
You've got to take action. One of the key things that I learned along the pathway is that I had to take all the ideas that were in my head and actually just move forward on one of them. Just one.
Yeah.
And most people have great ideas. Most people have $1 million ideas every single day. Have you ever had that moment where you go, oh man, I thought of that, as you watch someone go to infamy because of something that they invented, something that they did, something that they stretched themselves for. And you're like, man, I knew that. I thought of that a year ago.
I know, we
You
all
didn't
have
take action.
the little stick figure stickers on people's back of their cars. I had that like 2 years before.
Right.
And I'm like,
Exactly.
see? So yeah, just do it, and you'll just be amazed with yourself, because you will learn something, even if it's not the one, it's not the thing that takes off. It will always project you to the next thing. So it's never a waste of time. Alrighty, everybody. So I'm so glad that you were here today. Come and visit me again on my next show and meet another incredibly fabulous guest. So Tonya Hofmann signing off. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone. We'll have you on again soon.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, Tonya.